you dreaming of starting your own cannabis dispensary? Here are the 5 common obstacles you will face and how to overcome them while starting your own cannabis dispensary. Congratulations! You're putting together your roadmap and your business plan together for starting your own cannabis dispensary. Welcome to one of the most wildest rides you will ever have in your life. Look, there are a lot of videos out there providing the how-tos when starting a cannabis dispensary or a cannabis business in general. But do you want to know what you will experience while working towards obtaining a cannabis business license so you can open your business? It's a grueling application process that includes zoning, finding real estate, and getting local approval before you can even open up your dispensary doors. So let's break down what you will experience when and how to begin managing your time to take the stress out of opening up your dispensary. If you don't know me already, hey, I'm Bree. I'm a cannabis compliance and operations expert that specializes in building and scaling stronger cannabis businesses. If you want to learn more on how to work with me and learn my 4-step method to build, scale, and train your team in your cannabis compliance program in under 4 months, something that took me years to perfect, then click the link below to register for the free webinar. But let's dive right on into it. So you're probably initially here because you got the idea, how cool would it be to sell weed? If you are in the dreaming phase, then you are probably thinking, how fun would it be to sell weed? And seeking information on how to start a cannabis business. Hey, I'm so glad you're here. So you start to seek out information, maybe doing some Google searches, asking friends who are in the industry, or maybe even visiting a dispensary yourself. You're seeking out trusted resources to help guide you in the process. But be warned, in cannabis, there are a ton of frauds out there. So no matter who you're going to get your information or who you're going to work with, always do your due diligence and ask for references. So let's dive on into the next phase, which is the pre-licensing phase. Within this phase, you're starting to get serious about finding information on how to build a cannabis business. Your next step should be looking at the state regulations within your state. If your state doesn't have rules and regulations yet, then look for ballot initiatives and legislation for legalization. The easiest place you'll find this is within your state's news outlets. And let's say your state does have rules and regulations, or maybe that's in public comment period and the public is starting to give feedback on those rules and regulations. Read over those states and local jurisdiction rules and regulations. This is probably about a 200 to 500 page document. You will find zoning and licensing restrictions, such as ownership, the dispensing model, compliant license activities, and supply chain structure. Essentially, who can do business with who and how can you receive that product. And be warned, your local jurisdiction approval will be more challenging than your state approval. So start attending local municipality meetings so that the local jurisdiction begins to know who you are. Understanding this piece will be critical for your business plan and operating agreement between the owners. You will need to consider banking options, funding, and ownership structure. By this phase, you're probably already thinking to yourself, I'm way over my head. I need some help. And that's totally okay. A tip right here is to ensure to hire a cannabis attorney that is specific to your specific state. Do not go hiring Uncle Joe because he is an attorney. You need a state-specific who has worked in cannabis legal counsel to know the challenges that you will face and can read between the lines in legal jargon and in the rules and regulations. If your state does not have a draft set of rules and regulations, study other states and how they operate. Specifically, if you reviewed Florida and California versus Colorado, you would know that the licensing structure, supply chain structure, testing requirements, packaging requirements, and dispensing requirements are all very unique models and regulatory regimes across those 3 different states alone. All right, let's move on to the application. So by the licensing phase, you are building your executive, legal, and consulting team to prepare a winning application. You have completed all operational structure requirements, and now it is time to sign a lease on your compliantly zoned property. Create your standard operating procedures, build your security plan, and submit your state and local applications. Some states here have very challenging requirements, such as New Jersey, which requires local approval in writing from the municipality that the applicant would like to operate in. Your business license is approved by the state and local municipality. Now what? By this phase, you've waited for 3 months or maybe even a year and a half, Illinois and Detroit, for your cannabis business approval. It's insane how long this can take. And I always love to say it's cannabis time. So if you have a deadline, add 3 to 6 months to that because it will take a while to get your approval and to open up your doors. During this time, you have probably demoed and tested out numerous point of sales, identified other technology software you need, completed market research for your highest volume consumer goods sold in the medical market or nearby markets, and began developing the framework on how to build your team. If you need some help with this, click the link below to register for my free 1-hour webinar on how to structure your team while staying within your state's rules without sacrificing operational efficiency. You will also receive a final walkthrough within this phase of the facility. The walkthrough might be from the fire department, state agencies, local agency, and maybe even an environmental agency. Congrats, you're operational, but that's just the beginning. After your first 90 days of being operational, be prepared. It will feel like a lot of things are not going right. This is completely normal. So let's break down a few of these things that you're going to experience within your first 90 days of opening up your dispensary. First, you may experience high employee turnover, which again is totally normal. Check out this video right here to understand the steps that you need to do today to begin building your cannabis business team. You may also have expired inventory, or what I like to say, dead inventory on the shelf, which is making you no money, which again is totally normal because you don't know what your customers want yet. But now you need to analyze your data within your point of sale to find the perfect fit for what your customers are looking for. It takes about 6 to 9 months of data to truly understand what your customers want, and their wants may fluctuate with the seasons. But this leads you to understanding your customers better because you're making data-driven decisions based on your sales transactions within your point of sale. Finally, within the first 90 days of operating your dispensary, you should have completed a comprehensive audit of your business. Be proactive. Find the mistakes in your workflows, regulatory requirements, tax collection, and record retention before they compound into a problem. And if you want to know the exact blueprint to build, scale, and train your entire team on my proven 4-step method to create a cannabis compliance program in under 4 months, watch this video, register for my 1-hour free workshop. Even if you can't make the workshop, go ahead and register. You will receive a replay of the webinar. And don't forget to subscribe for weekly cannabis business and compliance tips.